Welcome to the Late Night with David Jones. I'm your host, David Jones, and I have a special guest, Carl Wise.
How's it going, everybody?
And today we're going to be talking about the DC Arrowverse TV shows, Supergirl, Flash, Legends of Tomorrow, and Arrow. And I want to say right now, this will be a spoiler-heavy episode, or video episode. Podcast. Whatever you want to call this. It's on YouTube, so video, podcast, sure, why not? And we're going to just kind of go in the order that they air throughout the week. So Supergirl is up first. And with Supergirl, it's the synopsis for the episode is Kara discovers a new cult in National City, one that worships all things Supergirl. And we're going to talk about the good, they're going to talk about the bad, and we're going to talk about the stuff we just do not care about. Carl, let's talk about something good.
I'm drawing a blank on this one, honestly. If I have to say something good about this,
so would you say you kind of say this episode was?
It was a miss for me, honestly. If I have to say something good about this, is
Win. I think I have not seen a bad episode of The Win. Like, even the musical episode crossover we had with Flash, Win stole the show, in my opinion.
That was great. They should do more of those. I need Music Meister. You know who should? I honestly, I know this is bringing up. They should have cast Neil Patrick Harris as Music Meister.
No, okay, look, and this is a flashback to, an earlier episode of Supergirl. With Mr. Mixoplick. God, that name's hard to say. They should have made him. I'm so sorry. They should have made not the actor who played Music Meister, but the character of Music Meister. They should have made Mr. Mixoplick. Because that's who that was, really. In my opinion. I've never seen an incarnation of Music Meister like that. However, the actor who played Music Meister, I was accepting as that because it was a Glee reunion between him, the guy who plays Barry Allen, Grant Gustin, and the girl who plays Kara Danvers as a
Supergirl?
I'm trying to think of the actor's name.
Oh.
Melissa Benoist. They all played in Glee. So I was like, that was kind of cool to see. And, everyone can... apparently everyone in the shows can sing, except for half of Arrow's cast. However, this episode was a complete miss. And it's mainly because I don't care about a cult following Supergirl. I don't care about the whole Rain mother-daughter storyline. And I don't give a crap about them introducing her or bring her on into quote-unquote girls' night with everyone. Randomly. Carl just comes in one day. Oh, hey, this is so-and-so. She's the new CEO. It's like, oh, cool. Nice to meet you. You want to come to girls' night? No. No.
My thing is, the cult really didn't serve any purpose to the story for Supergirl or anything, but one instant of just saying, "Oh, we have some kind of Kryptonian technology here." Where did they get that?
I'm sure it was something either that fell on Earth when Kara came through the Phantom Zone, or it was left there decades ago when another Kryptonian was there, because I'm pretty sure it's been established Kryptonians have been on Earth prior to Superman showing up.
Right.
If it hasn't, I'm pretty sure it's.
I feel like that's the exact reason why they sent Superman to Earth.
Because it's I know in Smallville and other incarnations, other Kryptonians have been to Earth, which is why they sent Clark to Earth and Kara. But it's and it could have been better if it made sense in my opinion. It did make sense. It was just kind of creepy. I think it was more of a cult to lead into the whole rain being coming rain. But because we saw them approach the mom and daughter, and it was like, yeah, this isn't creepy or anything, and you're not gonna call the cops or anyone saying some weird people showed up at my daughter's soccer game and know who we were.
Yeah, I would say the only upside about this, but this is just for me. It gave you a spiritualistic way of viewing different religions. They had a different religions, different beliefs. As they had, I believe, John Jones. I believe he was meditating for his or him and his dad. I believe might have been meditating.
I think it was just him.
Yeah, might have been meditating for his religion, and then you see Carr meditating and saying a prayer for her religion, and then they all have different religions. We all come from different things. We all should accept each other's religions, but there's a certain point about what you can and should and should not do between those religions.
Don't get me wrong. I would have accepted the cult more if it was a cult for like Kryptonians or just a random cult of people believing in a god like Superman. But the fact it was strictly Supergirl that the cult was like focused on.
No, my biggest problem with that was for you to join the cult, you have to nearly die, and she has to save you.
Oh yeah,
that was the biggest problem for me.
And it's like, oh well, I almost died and got saved by her. So to join the cult, you have to do the same, because we see that the first episode of the series, when Kara saves her sister's airplane from crashing, the cult leader was on that plane, and he was trying to tell someone not to fall for the family and loving wife act, which I wouldn't trust anyone who tells me on a plane, don't do it. It's a trap. Like, I'm not going to trust a random stranger on that. However, it really missed on all fronts, in my opinion. I don't know if I have anything good to say on this episode, which I feel bad because it's like I don't want to keep talking about a show that hasn't really done anything for me, and I don't care for this storyline this season. It's Smallville Season 8 all over again, and I will repeat this every episode. It's Smallville Season 8. If I want to watch it, I'll go watch that. But I will stop, and they have announced episode 10's title, which I'm all for. It's the Legion of Superheroes. So with them releasing a future title that I won't get until early December, maybe January, with that title, I will continue watching the show. Only because I want to see Legion of Superheroes again on TV. Do you have any predictions for the show? Or any more cons or pros?
No, I'm just, again, I keep saying this. I just want to see how they plan on tying things together. If it ends up making sense.
It will make sense. It will make sense because it will be these typical, you hurt my daughter, I'm going to go after you, angry mom that turned her into female doomsday.
Right.
That's the only thing I can see. I do have a prediction that Mon-El will show up mid-season finale at some point. Maybe the end of the episode prior to that, and it's like the end credit scene where it's like Mon-El shows up and it's like, oh yeah, Mon-El's back. Anything else you have on this episode? Because I rather just not talk about this episode this week. If I'm being honest.
All right, well, let's move it on to Flash.
Flash. I love the title of this episode. We have Flash, the elongated journey into night. I thought I said night when I first read that. When I read that on the TV and everything, I thought I said night. I don't know why, but it's elongated journey into night. And We got one of the classic allies of the Flash arrives on TV, but it doesn't sound like he's going to be fast friends with Barry Allen. And I'm going to throw out another little... And Cisco is shocked when Gypsy's father, Breacher, guest star Danny Trejo, shows up on Earth-1. Breacher takes an immediate disliking to Cisco and decides to hunt him. Meanwhile, Barry runs into his old nemesis, Ralph Dibny, guest star Hartley Sawyer. I'll let you start this off, Carl.
Machete.
Yeah.
That's all I needed to say is Machete was in this episode. No matter, all right. I'm gonna be 100% honest. I am not a fan of Plastic Man. I do not like Plastic Man.
That's in my cons. That is in my negatives of this episode.
Yeah, so they honestly cast, like, for me personally, they cast the best person to counteract my hatred for Plastic Man with the greatest person ever, Machete, as a bounty hunter for Breacher. So I guess I'll actually settle the actor. I actually will say,
what did you think of the character of Ralph Dibny, the detective, private detective, before you got introduced to who he was?
Oh, yeah, no. See, he definitely has that person who's a lowlife who only thinks of himself. That's how, that's how he showed himself, And again, that's how they explained themselves to him. Like, he only cares about himself. He doesn't really want to.
In his defense, I think it started when he got fired from the police department and all that. I don't think he was always like that.
Right.
But
again, maybe he did want to just take the glory for something, but because of Barry, how he is, and he doesn't, with his situation with his mother and father, he didn't want to see an innocent man go to jail.
Yeah.
But Dibny just didn't want to have a potential criminal on the streets.
Yeah, and it's one of those things where I see both sides.
Yeah, it's a very moral gray line.
I understand Ralph's like, I know he did it, but I just can't prove it. But then I understand Barry, where it's like, my mom died by being stabbed. If I see another person stabbed, I'm going to make 120% sure the right person goes to jail for it with evidence, not just kind of let stuff slide under the table. I feel for both, but it worked out well for Ralph. No, I don't want to say well, but it worked out for Ralph for a little bit. I mean, he has his own agency. That's a positive, right?
Mm-hmm.
But continue.
So what was I saying about Ralph? Again, he also gave off that personality type, which is like, oh, I have some dirt on you, showboating, especially when he showed the wife pictures of her husband cheating on. You know what he did immediately? He tried to flirt. He tried to hit on the wife immediately. That's just some,
that was some
low life kind of move right there.
Slide into.
He tried to slide into the DMs.
Yeah. It's like I enjoyed the character of Ralph. I thought he was cool. He had that personality where I'm like, I could see you using your powers for bad, but I could also see you turn around and coming back to being the good detective everyone said you were.
Right.
And how did you feel about the mayor and his goon squad going after Ralph and then kind of cleaning up loose ends?
Oh, now there it gets into corruption and the politics, and it's just like, okay, yeah, I guess the mayor has some secrets he didn't want out, and because of his power, because he used to be a cop, he used to work with Joe, and so
Did he used to work for Joe, or did he just used to be a cop?
Well, I'd imagine he worked with Joe since they were both cops and detectives, so they have this trust. He just went on to be a politician, and Joe stayed to be a detective.
Yeah.
So I imagine they did work together in some aspects. So, they have that police bond. They have a bond to each other. They trust each other. So, they would believe the mayor before they would believe Dippy. What is her name?
Dibney. Ralph Dibney.
Dibney, yeah.
Yeah, but if Ralph has the evidence, because, like, yes, he was a disgraced cop, but if he had the evidence and everything,
again,
and it was proven not to be altered,
again,
you can't beat that.
Again, that just gets to the point. You know, the mayor actually said, "I made one mistake. I just don't want this out to ruin my life."
See,
and that sympathized with, because they were friends. That just sympathized with Joe, and they made it seem like Dittney was blackmailing him.
Yeah,
that was the case. Dittney was blackmailing him, but he just had Joe and Barry sympathize with him. It's like, everybody makes mistakes, you know. We can trust him. We worked with him. He used to be a cop just like us.
My thing about it is, like, the moment someone tells me, it's like, it was just one mistake, it will never happen again, trust me.
Yeah, I
don't trust them.
You said the moment I did it, I felt guilty about it, and I wish I would have taken that back. I was like,
and if he did feel guilty, he wouldn't have hired goons to go kill 3 different people. 1 being a past police officer, and 2 being active police officers. It's like, if you felt guilty about it, you wouldn't have gone through all that trouble.
Yeah, no, he didn't feel guilty about it. It just turns out the mayor was just as corrupt as...
He only felt guilty because he was caught.
Yeah, he acted. The mayor was just a very corrupt person as it is, so... And you know what? I will give Dittney his most redeeming moment quality ever. I will applaud him. When he gave the mayor, it's like, you know what? Here is the envelope. I don't want anything. I don't care.
That was after he, like, kind of turned a new leaf and, like,
yeah.
Okay.
That was just the most redeeming quality ever. I was like, I applauded that situation.
Not his humor? Remember when he was, like, shot in the face and...
Okay, I said quality, not humor.
Oh,
it's the most redeeming quality as a character, you know, that made me like,
oh, okay. So not as, like, the character in the episode, but as, like, a person, like, he was real life. Okay.
Yes, as that character, that kind of spoke to me a little bit. It's like, okay, you know, I misjudged him, I guess. You know, he's not just some person in for the money. You know, he can change, and that's something I like to see. He can change, so... I may not like Plastic Man, but I'll give him a shot.
That's the first time I heard you were going to give him a shot. Alright, so we talked about Ralph Dibny kind of before he got his power, or we were shown to have his powers, really. A little bit into when he had powers. And I'll get back to his powers later. I'm going to get back to Machete. How did you feel when he comes in and tells Cisco, I'm going to hunt you?
That definitely is Machete.
When they're in the coffee shop, and Machete's like, I'm going to hunt you. It's like, what happened to the past boyfriends? I don't know. He's like, oh, so he got away. I don't know what happens when they die. He's like, oh.
Yeah.
And then he starts counting. I felt that if Cisco would just stay there and let him count down, it would have earned Machete's respect.
No.
You don't think so?
No.
You don't think standing up to him like, I'm not moving. Like, you got this. Keep counting.
Oh no. Because Machete would have been like, all right, well, you were going to fight here right now. That is just how he was for his daughter. He is just that overprotective.
Yeah, but if they would have fought right there, Gypsy would have jumped in.
Yeah, they would. Oh yeah, Gypsy would have stopped it then. But that's still not going to earn him respect because his daughter stopped the fight. Honestly, for Cisco made the right move. Where literally just at that point in time saying, "I'm going to protect my friends from you. I don't care."
Are you talking at the end?
Yeah, at the end. But that was probably the only situation I could see Machete calming down. And all right, I'm gonna call him Breacher because I can't keep calling him Machete.
Yeah, Breacher.
That would be the only way to calm down Breacher, or to, you know, make him, because, you know, yeah, Breacher still doesn't like him. This is just like, but I respect your decision to stand up for your friends.
I think he likes him as much as a father could like his daughter's boyfriend.
So about as
I think we've all been in that case where the father did not like us because we're dating his daughter.
Oh no, I've never had that problem.
Really?
Mm-hmm.
Well, lucky you.
Parents love me, man. I don't know.
I thought that too. I thought it was, but no, I've dated like one or two where the father was like, "Yeah, you're dating my daughter." Granted, I was also younger, so I was like more intimidated and less. I was really shy, so I was like,
I'm sorry. You've seen my father.
"Your father."
I get threatened walking into my house by gunpoint every time I walk into my house. If that's not some stuff, I don't care. My father has literally threatened to shoot me.
Your dad has like a more comedic version, in my opinion, of Machete.
Okay.
Like
so,
if you had a sister that lived in your house.
Say I do have a sister.
Well, I know you have a sister, but like lived at your house with your father. I feel like your father would be the type of father who had the boyfriend. The boyfriend comes over and he's just cleaning the shotgun. Like
he would do that. He definitely would.
Or I don't want to say cleaning, polishing the shotgun,
loading it. He would actually be loading it.
It won't be like the normal like automatic shotgun. It'll be the double barrel. Because he knows all he needs is one shot.
All he needs is that one.
So, intentions with my daughter, which I feel like that was Machete's in that coffee scene. That was Machete's way of saying that.
Yeah, that's basically how that situation is. No matter even if he would have stood there, Machete still would have been pissed.
Well, yeah, he's been pissed all like he would, but I think what Machete wanted was to show that Cisco wasn't
a man.
No, like that's what he was trying to do, is show like he's not a man. But I think if Cisco would have stayed and stood his ground, it would have been this. Excuse me. It would have been the same stuff as him when at the end when he stood up against Breacher. It would have been the same. Excuse me. Been the same thing. The only difference was he was able to sit there and say, "I'm protecting this guy. I'm protecting an innocent from you."
All right, well,
because Ralph Dibny was not a friend. I'm sorry.
All right, well, I'll throw in one thing else about that would have changed the situation. Breacher said no powers.
Yeah.
There is no way in this God-given Earth could Cisco take on Breacher.
I see. I don't think it was. I honestly don't think it was a if you stay we're fighting type of. I think it was. I'm counting down from 10 to 1. If you're still here, you earn my respect because you had the nerve, and you had the stupidity of sticking here and facing me instead he ran. Cisco ran. He let the fear take over and he ran. I wouldn't blame him because if I had a girlfriend and her father was Danny Trejo or Machete, I would have. I would have walked in, saw him, he's like, "You got the count of 10." I would have been gone before he finished the sentence. Because just by looking at him, he is a terrifying man.
Very intimidating looking.
In interviews, he is the sweetest guy.
I know, he looks so nice.
However, that point you said, I think if Cisco would have stayed and stood his ground, it would have earned his respect. And we would have gone through that entire episode without the entire shtick of him calling him Sissy. We got some cool scenes with Harry Wells, though. That scene where Harry's like, "Cisco, you're a great guy. You know, like you and him have a lot in common. You have the crazy hair. You're smart. You both love Gypsy." He's like, "You're a great guy," and you like go on kind of giving good quality. He's like, "You can date any father would be happy to date you or have you date their daughter." He's like, "Except mine. Can't date Jesse. Don't date Jesse. I will kill you."
I will kill you.
And he's like, and Cisco has that remark where he's like, "Great on the compliments, but you did not stick the landing." So, again, we got Harry Wells. Always a positive, in my opinion. I've never gotten an episode where Harry Wells was bad. Except the first episode he was in. Back in season 2.
All right, so what are your thoughts on Dibny coming into the show?
Okay, I was happy because like I'm a big fan of Plastic Man and Elongated Man. So when I got the title, The Elongated Journey into Night, I was like, we're getting Elongated Man. That's all the news I heard was Elongated Man's coming this season. You know, we got Ralph Dibny, which is Elongated Man's name in the comics. And at the end of the episode, when Barry Allen comes in and offers Ralph a job being on Star Labs and somehow getting paid by mysterious sources, and, you know, and being offered to be trained by Barry to use his powers, which I'm sure Harry and Cisco and all of them will help him. But the fact that he's like, do I get a cool superhero name too? And Barry's like, how about Plastic Man? I kid you not, if I had a flippable table in my vicinity, I would have flipped it.
Okay, you know what? Let me say this. Okay, you do realize Cisco just, you know, named him Plastic Man. What if that was kind of, you know, an homage to Plastic Man? What if he still, because they didn't necessarily say, oh yeah, you know, you're Plastic Man. They just said, how about Plastic Man? Cisco gave the name Plastic Man. Then, you know, he made a comment. So it's like, you know, that's stupid. He's like, yeah, Cisco comes up with the names. But see, that doesn't necessarily mean that it will stick to Plastic
I would have
Man.
accepted that if that was done in this episode. If, like, he's like, that's kind of stupid.
They just, you know,
but it kind of ended with, how about Plastic Man? And I was like, it's like, I would have been cool with it.
If they actually would have said Elongated Man or something.
Not even just that. It's like, I understand, like, they're kind of like, they might be fusing two characters together. Because it seems like Ralph Dibny had a little more, like, little bit of Plastic Man's. I don't know why I can't think of his alter identity right now. His characteristics in the comics. But it's like, you have the name Elongated Journey into Night. You're hinting at all this Elongated Man stuff, and then go and name him Plastic Man, which I know where Cisco got the name from. He got it from the fact that Machete, or Breacher, was calling him Plastoid, or Plasto, whatever their name was. So it's like, oh, Plastic Man, that seems like a good name. Don't get me wrong, if we get the next episode and it's like, we're trying new names out, see, we can throw out some other names, like maybe Captain Fantastic or something, kind of like a nod to Mr. Fantastic. I don't know if they could do that.
They would sue so quickly.
I don't know. They've dropped stuff to other superheroes in Marvel lore. I'm positive. There's no way they've not dropped. And Marvel's thrown stuff to DC in their stuff too. No, Oliver did. In was it 2 seasons ago when they introduced Legends? In that crossover with the Vandal? When they all went to the cabin, they made an Avengers reference then. They could easily drop a Fantastic reference, whatever. As long as they don't say Mr. Fantastic, you're good. A all Captain right. Fantastic, a Doctor Fantastic,
Officer Fantastic.
Yeah, like just throw something out there, kind of like a nod to other elastic characters. Heroes.
Okay, you know, speaking of which, I do have a topic I want to talk about. Speaking of, since we have, so far we have 3 people from the 12 we know of the bus, correct?
Yes. Possibly 4.
Possibly.
I don't know. I feel like the Thinker might be one. No, he can't be. Never mind. He can't be one.
So, and we see 2 of them be, you know, turn into villains, and we see 1 become a hero.
Mm-hmm.
What do you think the ratio of villains to heroes is going to be?
See, there's 12 of them. I'm going to say 2 to 10. I don't know that's the right measurement. There's going to be 2 heroes and 10 villains. But has it confirmed for sure that Ralph was on that bus?
Yes.
Because I know, like, Barry's like, oh, well, he has powers. He obviously had to be on the bus.
Yes, he was confirmed. He was on the bus.
All right.
Because he said he wasn't on the bus, but that's just him lying.
Well, that's because, like, in the first season, we had the particle accelerator cause our issues.
But then he wasn't even in. Apparently, he wasn't even in Central City at the time.
Well, and then season 2, we got the Earth 2 meta-human villains. Earth 3, we got villains from Dr. Alchemy and Savitar this season. But they've obviously dropped that some people who have powers was not in Central City when the particle accelerator, and they got their powers somewhere else. So I was like, what if Ralph isn't from the bus?
Well, it would just make sense that he probably is, because the situation and the timing kind of coincide together, because he's never had these abilities before. He didn't even know he had those powers.
It takes 3 weeks for them to realize he has abilities.
You know, it just never came to the situation, you know, where he's using it. You know, how often would you actually need to, you know, super stretch your arms? Or
apparently you haven't been a short person trying to reach on the top shelf of the cabinet.
I'm 6'2". I never had that problem.
And he didn't look that tall. I think he was about the same height as Barry.
Yeah, but again,
I'm sorry,
you
Barry
know,
doesn't look like he can reach the top shelf of the...
I'm going to say maybe it takes something, you know...
being dingo off a roof?
Yeah, to manifest the powers.
I guess maybe.
Something it just might have been dormant, made a light dormant, because, again, they got 12 metas. Maybe it's a certain situation that activates their powers, or a certain...
Okay.
incident that, you know, emerges.
I will allow that.
So I think, but we would have to, you know, I know they showed a flashback of the bus when, on Lady Luck's episode.
But we didn't see anyone on, we saw people on the bus.
They showed Kilgore, sorry. They showed Kilgore, they showed her, and I know that they showed 2 more people's faces.
I might have to go back and watch the episode. I don't remember them showing anyone else's face.
Yeah, I know they didn't show all the people's faces, but I believe they showed 2 more people's faces, and I sat there like, okay, who are those 2 people? And I'm thinking one of them might have been Dipney.
Possibly.
I would just have to. We had to watch that.
I will say this though, like if you look at the comics for Elongated Man, and you put the actor they have playing him,
it's Plastic Man.
I don't want to say it's Plastic Man. It's a really good, like, if you were to just pull the character out of the comics and put him in real life, it's this actor. I'm gonna move on to Legends of Tomorrow, but I do want to. Do you have any final thoughts for Flash?
It was a good episode this week. I enjoyed it.
I enjoyed it. I was angry at Plastic Man, but we'll hold off until a couple episodes to see if we get a new name for him, like Carl suggests. For Legends of Tomorrow, Season 3, Episode 4, the team is going back to 1988 to save one of their own because Young Ray is keeping a Dominator as a pet. When I saw the end of the last episode, I legitly, and I know you brought it up to me before too, it was it meets E.T.
Mm-hmm.
And I saw little Ray into the sewer, and I was like,
he's about to be taken by a demonic clown. That's what I thought.
It didn't help that all we heard was kind of like a growl or something, so I was like, do they know it was going to be that successful that they're going to bring a clown in, like a killer clown to this? And then we get this episode, we get the young Ray in this weird facility trying to break out, and 2 people stop him, and then we see Ray disappear.
They shoot the kid.
Which made me think, they shot a kid on this TV show.
They shot a kid. They plainly shot a kid. You know, they didn't give any blood, but you hear a gunshot, and you see Ray disappear. Which indicates, and they even showed a newspaper article, Ray Palmer found dead, missing.
Yeah, and I was like, well, dang. This show got dark. So how do you feel about them going back to 1988 and how they kind of interact with like other people? Because once they got back to 1988, we saw Ray come back.
Yeah.
And we got the thing. I was like, I guess the time hasn't solidified yet.
Yeah.
So how do you feel about their interaction and everything, and them following young Ray back to his house?
Well, I'm honestly, we weren't even born during this time, but I know from the fact that 1988 was definitely a different time from today. That was back in the time where you could probably keep your doors unlocked and, be perfectly fine and perfectly safe. It was around that time where everything was little bit more simple.
Depends on where you live.
Yeah, depending on where you live. But in the suburb area, it's like a area where you can keep your doors unlocked and stuff like that.
Yeah.
Again, you see classic Little Ray getting bullied by these three bullies, but he's not that smart enough to realize they were really bullying him and they aren't his friends. And it took him until how old is he now? Like in his 30s?
I wasn't in the 30s, and Ray's like, no, they're my friends. And like Cassie sees, she's like, they were not friends.
They were not friends. It took them this long to realize this. And so you get to see how Ray, a little bit more of Ray Palmer, how he was as a kid, still kind of correlates how he is as an adult.
Yeah, but we also kind of saw we saw young Ray doing stuff, and Ray's like, I never did that. Hold up. I'm becoming Mick. And because we saw him steal candy from the newsstand, and we saw him do some skip school, and then we see him go back. We get home, and and they're like, all right, well, he's home alone, and like they're kind of peeping through the window. Which, I'm sorry, is no one home in that neighborhood? Is this like back in that time where like both parents worked? There was never anyone home in the neighborhood.
They never showed Ray's father once in that.
Well, yeah, like, I didn't mean Ray's father, man. I mean like the other houses.
Maybe they had a fence. Did they have a fence? I don't know.
Maybe but it wasn't tall. I'm sorry. I think I would notice someone peeping through my neighbor's window like that. But we see Ray kind of peep into the house, and we see that young Ray has a pet Dominator.
Now, for those who don't remember, the Dominators are the real reason why we have a multi-crossover universe between Flash, Arrow, Legends, and Supergirl.
It was the unofficial 4-part night crossover. It was really only 3 nights. And 0.2% of an episode of Supergirl. And we got the Dominators, and I did like seeing that guy from that crossover back. I believe that was the same guy. It was the little secret agent dude.
Right.
It was, I'm not gonna lie, I thought the baby Dominator was cute.
Oh yeah, it was cute. It was adorable.
I did think at some point it was either going to grow and attack, or it was going to have its mama soon, like around. One of those was right. So my question for you, Carl, how did you feel the Baby Dominator storyline went in this episode?
Honestly, I feel like it's a filler episode. I mean, compared to what they're trying to face off in,
yeah.
But I guess I guess it's understandable. They are talking about acronyms. Is that right?
Yeah, something like that.
Acronyms.
They changed the name to changes in time every season.
Yeah. So they
don't know why.
They have the acronyms saying they can appear anywhere and change any certain things to see how the threat level is. So I guess it kind of shows them, even them, they can be affected in a very, very drastic way because Ray died.
None of that. Ray was involved with the Dominator.
Right.
Which I think if you would have left that alone, it might have been fine for the crossover episode.
They might have that one Dominator that saved Ray's like, oh, I remember you. You were my friend. And, start singing show tunes.
Good morning.
Good morning. So, yeah. That was actually a very funny part when Ray didn't even trust the Dominator, but little Ray said, no, we can trust him. He wouldn't do anything. And, he was right. Little Ray, the Dominator just stop their guns and just made them do show tunes.
The best thing about it was they were holding the gun towards everyone, and they just randomly was like, start singing. They didn't put the guns down or anything. They just kind of started singing. I was like...
I like the synchronized head movement they all had together.
It might have been a filler episode. I enjoyed it for what it was.
I did too. I enjoyed it. It was a cute episode.
There's a couple of things I want to talk about, kind of, and some of it's speculation, some of it's kind of just nods that you picked up actually that I didn't, because I watched this at work and I miss visual stuff. But Carl, what did you bring up that you told me about with Zari?
Oh yes, the her actual outfit when they were at the very end of the episode, they decided to go trick or treating with Little Ray, and they all decided to get into their full costumes. So you have Sarah in her white canary outfit.
Won't cause an issue or anything.
Firestorm in his outfit, but he wasn't flamed on or anything. He was just.
Was he not?
No.
Was his head not on fire?
No. I don't think he has to be on fire.
I thought it always was on fire.
No,
But yeah, everyone was in a costume.
Mick in Mick's outfit, because he doesn't have an actual outfit.
I'm gonna throw that out there. Do you think he'll ever get his a comic book more accurate costume? Because we've seen set photos, or I've seen set photos. I don't know if you see that stuff of the guy Wentworth Miller, who plays Leonard Snart, in a more comic book accurate Captain Cold outfit.
So he has a parka.
Well, he has a parka before. Well, outside of Legends, he did.
Well,
he just with the glasses.
Yeah. Well, see, the only thing was Mick Heatstorm. He just doesn't really make sense. I mean, it's not necessary. I can understand for. I can understand.
I'm not talking about like at all times, but kind of like at one point where it's like, we need you in a costume, and it's like a nod.
Maybe they might do it, but I can understand it. Snart is a little bit more necessary because he has a cold gun that could actually just freeze himself, so he wanted to keep warm. He just has a heat gun, so he just gotta literally just take an extra few heats, and he likes fire. So, but anyways, you get a nod of her in her original outfit, her ISIS outfit.
No affiliation with
the other
real world events. It is the character of Zari in the comics. Yeah. I don't think they're ever going to give her that name.
No, that name's just not going to be spoken of whatsoever. But you see her give her classic ISIS outfit, and she comments she actually just makes the comments why am I wearing this? Do I really have to wear this?
Yeah, I looked it up on my computer, and I don't know why when I watched this episode, I didn't notice that. I noticed Vixen in her costume, which is exactly like her granddaughter's.
Yeah, she just probably just
took
a note of her
granddaughters. Gideon made that for her.
Yeah. But, I just thought it was kind of a cool little note that, they'll show it. It's like, this is who we're talking about. This is the hero we're mentioning, but we probably will never say her name out aloud or actually give her that nickname.
I think she's going to either stay Zari or kind of...
She really doesn't have a reason to
give her maybe another name if Cisco ever comes across.
I honestly, because she's from the future, she doesn't need...
Oh, yeah, she's from the future.
Yeah, so she doesn't necessarily need a alter ego.
Yeah.
Because she's like, hey, it's Zari. It's like, Zari who? She could literally tell her name and they would never find her.
Yeah, I think the same for Amaya too, because she's from the past, and even from the past, no one knew who the Justice Society of America was, except for secret top personnel.
Yeah. So again, it's just like Amaya doesn't even have a hero name.
It's like if they did give Amaya a name, would they just go with Vixen?
I don't think so.
Because I don't know if we're going to see a more live... I don't think we're going to see the granddaughter live action or the younger Vixen anytime soon. I haven't heard anything about that. But it was hearing the fact that she was in her comic book outfit for a brief minute in the episode sounds cool. I need to go back and rewatch the episode to see it in the episode. I've only seen a picture of it.
So I gotta... Now, see, I have a question for you.
What's up?
Okay. Very end of the episode, you see Mick and, what's it? No. Sorry, it wasn't Mick. It was Ray. You see Ray and Jackson talking.
I was just about to bring that up.
Yeah, about saying, "I want to break up Firestorm."
That was the highlight of this episode. And again, props to Jax on that, because that deliver could have been one of two things. And the way he, in my opinion, the way he delivered it, it came out great. He had that serious tone. It wasn't like he didn't have a smile. He had like a serious face, like, I need this to happen.
And it's not even for him to get rid of Stein. It is for Stein. It is all for Professor Stein.
And we see that earlier when when Mick and Jax is like, time ships we're missing the time ship, or what, the
missing logs,
whatever the small time ship is, and it's like, and their logs have been erased. So it's like, okay, maybe Stein is ratting us out to the Time Bureau, and they confront him, and Mick destroys that time ship. Pretty much, he just like yanks out the controls, and Jack's like, "Whoa, I have to build that still.
I gotta fix that now. Thank you."
But then Martin Stein announced that he went back in time to give his granddaughter a time chat machine. Like,
it's a actual FaceTime time machine.
He's able to communicate with his granddaughter.
He's able to FaceTime through the future,
no matter where he's at in time. Which I thought was sweet. You know, I was like, all right, well, you know, he's still trying to be with his granddaughter, or his daughter, and still make the obligation he made with Jax.
Because I kind of think this is a very interesting topic, which is quite confusing to even talk about. But the correlation of time still continues. Even if they're in the past or in the future, time still is moving constantly forward.
Yeah.
They can just choose when they want to go and where.
It kind of make it like you have this highway of time, and the exits are points in time you get off, and they can choose which exit they want to get off on.
But it's still continually straight.
Yeah.
But that's just on something, because I could go on forever about that. But
yeah.
It was nice, to see. But again, Stein was just keeping something like this from everybody. I think everybody would have been okay, even, being like, hey, I have a granddaughter, I have a daughter, I know this is, or my first granddaughter, I know this is an important mission, but at a certain point in time, I need to go, I want to be there for the birth of his daughter.
Yeah, and I'm pretty sure even Sarah, like the captain, would be like, go.
Yeah, go. She has a heart.
Take Jax with you, like, that way you have someone to protect you. Because Jax can fight.
Not even need protection, just this literally just...
Well, I say protection because we have this water assassin after people.
True.
So you kind of would have liked the people, and she probably would have sent maybe Amaya, maybe Mick.
No, maybe Mick. Honestly, I would have said, yeah, those three probably would have gone. Even though he wouldn't have liked Mick, he even says, I am so glad you're here for my birth of my granddaughters. Or like for birthday, you are part of this family, but I don't know why he's here.
But yeah, I thought it was sweet. He was trying to still stay in contact with his daughter. And I do agree that I think everyone would have understood. You didn't really have to hide that, but I think CW was like, we need drama, so we're gonna let him hide that.
Yeah.
And then we see Jax steal the time ship to take Stein back in time to go see his granddaughter.
Yeah.
And the birth. However, the end of the episode where Jack's like, we need to break up Firestorm. It was a very selfless thing to do, and it would be a way for us to keep Jax on the show while not having Martin Stein.
Yes, you've mentioned this before. The actor, what's his name again?
Victor Garber.
Victor Garber is leaving Legends of Tomorrow.
I don't think it's permanent. I think he will be back because he is doing Broadway and everything. And you can't do Broadway and film a show at the same time. I can't see that being physically possible at all without killing someone. But I do think the storyline they're going to go with is have it where Jax and Martin Stein can become Firestorm by themselves and then merge together to become a full Firestorm. I don't remember the name of that Firestorm off the top of my head. I think that would be the route they take. It would be interesting to see what Jax does because he doesn't. He understands what he's already done with Firestorm, what Martin Stein has taught him. But there's so many things like Martin Stein could tell him, like, hey, while in battle, like, this is what we need to do.
Yeah, because with Firestorm's abilities, he's able to, transcend matter and create anything from... He's able to just, transmute matter to whatever he wants to. He can literally take a bunch of rock.
As long as he understands
the properties,
the makeup of it.
Yeah. So he can literally take a rock and make it into sweet jelly beans.
That'd be a sweet power.
And he can literally turn something into just water.
Which we saw last season with the giant nuke bomb.
Yeah, he literally just turned it into water.
Actually, with the Dominator crossover, that's what that was.
Yeah. Yeah, so...
And it all comes back.
So, yeah. It's just... Professor Stein has that science aspect into it. That Jax doesn't necessarily have. He's a mechanic. He's an engineer.
He's a very advanced mechanic.
I'm gonna say engineer. He's an engineer. He's an engineer.
Mechanic. He doesn't build stuff. He fixes stuff.
Okay.
I think more mechanic.
All right. So I honestly think it would be best to keep that aspect of two people coming to one.
Yeah.
And it's be best for a scientist as smart or even smarter than Stein to fuse with Firestorm.
I'm gonna ask this last question before we move on to Arrow. Do you think Jax is going to tell Martin Stein about this secret project him and Ray are doing, or do you think he's gonna keep it a secret until they are for sure able to do it?
I think it's gonna be up until they can do it, because it just the way he talked to Ray, it's just like. We see what Stein is. I know he's because Stein would fight it. The way he is now, I think he would fight
I think he would half fight it. Like he's like, no, it's like, I want to stay, but it's like, Stein, you need to be with your granddaughter. He's like, are you sure this is what you want? He's like, I would like you to be here, Gray. And I'm speaking as Jax. Like, I would like for you to be here, Gray, but you need to be with your family. And we can always fix this issue later.
Yeah. However, I would like for them to immediately, because even Stein would be a great asset onto figuring out how to break them apart.
I mean, he's the one who created Firestorm.
He's the one who created it. He might be able to figure out something to break them away, but we'll have to see.
I will throw this out here before we move on, is I really wish they brought Ronnie Raymond back. I really hope they bring him back as... where we have a Jax Firestorm and a Ronnie Firestorm. And they're the ones who kind of come together. But now we're going to move on to Arrow. And this week on Arrow, we got Black Siren returns to attack Star City again and have her first face-off against Diggle's Green Arrow. And just as Oliver starts to get things in order, Black Siren, guest star Katie Cassidy, I don't even know if she's a guest star, I think she might be a regular, launches another attack on the citizens of Star City. What did you think of Diggle's Green Arrow? Now when he has the crossbow and everything.
Well, I'm liking the crossbow a lot.
It's a nice.
It's a nice crossbow.
It's a very nice crossbow. If I was able to buy a replica of that, I would probably buy it.
I'm sorry, but when you have a crossbow that can self-reload, you don't have to reload it. That's the biggest problem with a crossbow is the reloading aspect of it. Because you literally have to shoot, put it on the ground, have this special tool. I can't remember the name or.
I won't say always have to, because
you either that or you literally force that, because crossbows have a lot.
Yeah, they do. But I'm gonna bring in The Walking Dead for a second, because Daryl has a crossbow and he just kind of puts the arrow on, pushes it, and then use it. I'm not saying that's how crossbows actually work. I've never had a crossbow in my hand ever. So
I'm just saying it's a lot of,
and I'm sure it is
a lot of stress, because you have to pull it and then this, and then you were able to shoot.
Yeah.
But it's a lot of motions
But
to
I think
reload
when it comes to arrows in general, having a self-reloading, if Oliver could have a self-reloading like bow,
he wouldn't use it.
he probably wouldn't. But because he's so quick at it as it is, but it would be beneficial to a less experienced archer, maybe a Roy Hopper. But how did you feel about the team in this episode with Felicity being off fighting or going up against or helping with the Helix situation, and then kind of leaving everyone else to deal with the issue themselves, so the Black Siren.
It partway believes in trusting your teamwork. Yeah. Because Felicity states, anything I can do, Curtis can do easily. That's what her belief was, and
it's true. Like Curtis can do a lot of stuff Felicity can do.
But but she's
Felicity's
just
better
at hacking. She's just a better hacker. But it just seems the fact that it was good that Felicity didn't too much keep secrets this time.
Kind of.
She just neglected to tell them originally until she literally just until John called her and because she was busy doing what she was doing and just ignored everything. But until John's like, hey, where are you? We need you. She's like, I'm sorry, I can't. You remember that Helix situation? You were right. I was wrong. I am trying to fix my mistake.
She was pretty much subtly told, I told you so, on multiple occasions this episode.
In that episode, yeah. So she was like, you're right. I was wrong. I need to fix this. John was like, okay, stay safe. If you need help, let us know.
Yeah.
That's basically how that situation is. John trusts her. John trusts her her decision, her judgment. She's like, okay, she should be able to handle this on her own. But it was just at that time you see Black Siren and
Caden James.
Caden James.
That sounds about right.
Yeah, that's actually right. Caden James come in to where the Helix location, because Felicity even told her where she was.
Yeah.
So that was even a better nod to that. Like, I'm at this location right now trying to fix this situation with Helix.
Yeah, and
so it wasn't nothing left out or anything. She told John what she was doing, what she was at, and that she needed to fix it.
Yeah, and seeing Black Siren with Caden James, sure. I can't see Caden James being the behind of how she came back to life and being shot.
Okay, now see what it looks like is they have a really big plan in, and I don't think it's just Caden James. I think there's a group or maybe an organization working it.
Well, yeah, because Caden James runs Helix.
Mm-hmm.
So there's definitely.
I think there's more than just Caden James and Helix.
I think it's
involved.
The big Oliver's big bag of the season.
Yeah,
I think he's involved with it too, and I want to say his name's Drago, but I don't think that's it off the top of my head. But because there has to be a reason why Oliver picks up the bow again. Seeing Black Siren in this episode kind of, I'm gonna say that, I love Katie Cassidy better as Black Siren than I ever did as her as Earth 1 Laurel. Because from season 1 we got annoying Laurel, season 2 we got drug Laurel, season 3 we got I'm training Laurel, which I'm sorry, you've been training it was 4 weeks. I'm gonna assume each episode has been a week. You've been training for 4 weeks before Oliver comes back. Oliver comes back, you're not going to be trained by him. You won't be trained by him. And somehow you're just immediately able to take down League of Assassin ninjas. I refuse to accept that.
Either she's a skilled fighter or the League of Assassin ninjas are just letting in anybody now. And I hope
actually, with that League of Assassins, I would accept that second part. I'm sorry, that was not the League of Assassins. And then season 4, we get the Laurel dying. I think that made a lot of people happy, a lot of people mad because they wanted the Black Canary, Green Arrow love relationship. But then we get this season. We get Black Siren, throughout our season 5 also. But this season we get Black Siren kind of main focus. This first half of the season, we see her fight the Black Canary on the Team Arrow. We see her fight Diggle, and we see all the other people kind of fight in their own unique battle style. Even Mr. Terrific, T-Spheres, always a plus.
He just throws them at people's faces. That's the funny part.
But he actually does, fight too. So I was like, that's kind of cool to see have him his own little fighting style.
All right. Speaking of which, I know you probably didn't notice this, but his hair is not braided anymore.
I did notice that actually. I was like, so he finally learned that taking magically putting his hair in braids is not working for him. I enjoy that. Because that is my main issue with Mr. Terrific every episode I see him in. So Bravo, he still has the T, so he still takes a little time to put the T on his face. I really want to know if that's pain or not. We see Black Canary kind of in casual uniform, not uniform, but out clothes, taking out these random people. We got her seducing this one guy, being a jogger in a parking garage. Sure. And the third time she attacked Felicity, right? Or am I missing someone? I feel like I'm missing someone.
No, I think it was just those two, and then the third time she attacked Felicity.
So we get these nice little moments with Katie Cassidy being Black Siren, which I think she's acting better now than she did the past 5 seasons. And then we also get the little heck that Mr. Terrific comes up with, and he's like, I can track Black Siren by using her sonic screams. How'd you feel about that? Did you care about that at all?
I mean, in a logical sense, it kind of does make sense because her scream does make a certain frequency that's not known to normal people, or is not heard. And I know they have sensors. This is actually in real life. I know they have sensors that will detect gunshots. Yeah. So I'm guessing they would just cross-interface with those kind of systems.
I think they could be using Star Labs satellites.
And Star Labs satellites that, pinpoint the location.
Because I think when Black Siren first came into the universe, they used the same kind of stuff to track where she was at.
So, I mean, again, that's an easy way. But, again, at the end of that, they show Kate and James stopping there. Like, yeah, here's a piece of technology, so they can't track you anymore.
They'll find a way. How'd you feel about the Oliver Felicity relationship? Because we got them dating again in the same restaurant they were 3 seasons ago when it got blown up.
Do we have to talk about this?
No, we do not. I just want to throw that out there. I don't think me or Carl are fans of this relationship.
All right. See, I love Felicity as a person. I like Oliver.
As an individual.
But it's just those two together. They're just, I just can't see it well. I just don't see it well.
Yeah. I really don't want them together. Sadly, I think that they will end up together because William likes Felicity. So my dreams of a Black Canary, Green Arrow relationship is probably shot out the window with John Diggle's crossbow. So I'm just gonna move on from that because I really don't give a crap.
All right, let me ask, what do you think of Caden James?
He's a lot older than I expected to be.
That is true. Yeah.
I don't know why last year when we broke him out of the Argus prison and everything, he looked younger.
Did they even show a picture of him?
I thought they did.
I don't even ever remember seeing what he looked like.
I assumed he was younger. I was not expecting an older gentleman.
Yeah, I don't think they ever showed him what he looked like because I was always curious. But yeah, honestly, his age was yeah, he was a lot older than I expected to. But what do you think about his actions in the in the so-called internet?
Look, I'm tired of the storyline of let's crash the. It makes sense because our world now runs on the internet, but you can't crash the entire internet from one city, especially a city like Star City that's in. I'm assuming Washington State, because I'm assuming it's somewhere near Seattle by the comics.
So I don't think I don't. Yeah, I doubt they have all like a centralized global place. Like,
But can we please stop trying to destroy the world by destroying the internet?
That's not what he was doing, though.
That's what it seemed like.
I know that's exactly what it seemed like.
And I know he had alternative
but
motives.
that's it. He's like, he literally said, "Oh, I wasn't trying to destroy the internet. If he destroyed the internet, that's just he does his living off the internet. That's what he does his hacking off of."
Yeah.
Oh, cookies.
Yeah. Awesome.
Thank you.
You're welcome.
Cool. Well,
we got special cookies sent to us. Awesome.
All right. Well, like I said, Caden James,
he wasn't trying to destroy the internet.
He wasn't trying to destroy the internet. He just needed access to it.
Yeah.
But now, I like saying everybody doesn't have access to the internet, but there are some things that we can't get access to.
Yeah, and
so I think his access, he literally just needed Felicity to, like he said, why put my fingerprints on it when I can get somebody else to do it?
Yeah.
He said, I could have easily done this, but why get my hands dirty when I could trick somebody else into doing it for me and they follow her instead of following me? Yeah. So I think his motives of getting into the internet through Felicity has a really, really big impact on something that's going to happen later.
Something's going to happen later on in the season that's going to cause, and I think it's going to involve this FBI lady that's following them around. Because we saw in the end of one episode, she knows everyone on this team. She knows, like, she doesn't 100% know, but she has where it's like, oh, Oliver Queen is Green Arrow. I'm sure this person is part of his team. This person's part of the team. I think John Diggle has replaced Oliver Queen as Green Arrow. She had everything down. So I think the FBI is going to get some kind of hint or like tip by Caden James and go after Felicity.
And the Arrow.
I don't say the Arrow, but go after Felicity for sure because she's the one. And it's going to hinder her and Curtis and their startup company, which they want to call Helix something.
Helix something with the D.
So that was interesting. This episode actually was pretty good. Like, the action scenes were good. I guess the whole computer stuff doesn't really interest me. So, like, I enjoy seeing Felicity on the computers and helping the team, but I don't enjoy seeing her go with the Helix stuff. However, I did enjoy seeing the roles get switched and Oliver become Overwatch. Because, like, you see Felicity kind of, like, talking and Oliver comes in and is like, I'm going to help you through this.
And giving them direction because, he's literally saying, like, you was always in my ear giving me directions. I'm going to do the same for you.
And then, it wasn't like he knew what to do, like, right then. Because, like, I'm still learning it, but he made it where William could handle...
Yeah, even my son, like, was he 13-year-old, could handle this computer system.
And, then he's like, oh, take a left. And he's like, are you sure? He's like, my right, sorry. I'm getting used to this still. So that was cool seeing him and then you even see Diggle, like, he's like, Overwatch, Overwatch, what are you doing? Overwatch. And then Oliver finally answers, like, she's fine. So I was like, it was kind of cool seeing her take Oliver, take the Overwatch
mantle for that
mantle. And I don't know if it's going to happen every time now, but I'm going to predict this in 2 episodes. 2 episodes where we're going to see something where Oliver's going to take up the Green Arrow. And it's either going to be Diggle's going to have issues, or something's going to be where they can't handle it without Oliver.
Right.
Because we saw Oliver today, like, when Felicity and Helix Girl, I don't know why I don't know her name. Helix Girl and Felicity kind of go into the back room or get taken, and Oliver just come busting in, like, taking everyone out. I was like, because for the split second, I was like, is this Helix? This could be Helix, because this is very suspicious, and this is unlike Oliver being, like, in the field without being Green Arrow, because he always has, like, a Black Hawk ski mask or something. This time he had, like, a full-on mask. I was like...
He had, like, a full-on, like, paintball mask going on.
Like, I was like,
I guess he definitely did fit into the crowd.
True. And then we see him, like, take down all the people, and then Felicity gets mad at him. So I thought it was a cool little dynamic, because, you know, it was like, it kind of felt like Oliver wasn't trusting Felicity.
Yeah.
But, you know, in reality, it was more just making sure she was safe.
Yeah.
Which, in my head, like, if I was all in Oliver's shoes, I would have done the same thing. You see 2 people kind of forcibly grab you and take you into a back room.
You're going to have to, it's like, oh, crap, it's going down. I need to get in there and stop it.
So, I can't blame Oliver for what he did. Is there any other big surprises we had in this episode?
No, not really. Not just other than the Caden Dames reveal and, you know, Black Siren's working with them.
Yeah. Again, I'm going to say 2 episodes, Oliver Queen's going to pick the bow up again. And I think next episode, Wild Dog, I never remember his name.
Ramirez.
I remember his last name. I can't remember his first name.
It starts with an R2.
Renee.
Renee.
Thank you. Renee's going to find out Diggle's lying.
About the drugs?
Yeah.
Okay.
Renee's going to find about it.
I think it's going to be Dinah.
Dinah?
Dinah.
I think it's going to be Renee, because Renee's already been suspicious of him. And Dinah's like, you sold me on it. And I honestly think either next episode or in 2 episodes, we're going to get some kind of advancement on the Renee and his daughter storyline.
Right.
And I think the FBI agent is going to hinder that, and Renee's going to get mad. That's my predictions for Arrow. Do you have anything you want to throw out there?
No, not at all. It's gonna have to wait and see.
I do have one negative of that. And, this is kind of, we didn't really see Oliver do mayor stuff. And it's like, I kind of want, because we get that whole anti-vigilante act storyline going on right now, that it's like, I think that would be kind of bigger. It's not what we saw on Legends 2 episodes ago.
Yeah, I guess you're right, but again, it's not even being enforced. It is like a literal, like, it's like a, it's not actually a thing yet.
Well, yeah, I know. It's an act. It's an
act.
It's a legislative, like, trying to get passed.
Yeah.
And, I mean, we got that little hint from that when they're at the dinner and the lady's like, I'm going to vote against the...
Yeah. Maybe, again, a certain situation involving the vigilantes might provoke them to... might provoke the people to, you know...
Vote against it?
Vote for it.
Oh, so you think they're going to vote for them to have the police hunt the vigilantes?
It might happen. And again, at that point, Oliver Queen couldn't stop it if the people wanted it.
You know who I think is going to cause people to start voting for the act?
Oh.
Vigilante. We haven't got him at all this season. And he's more of a danger to this act than I think anyone else on the team. So, and I think we're going to get him in the first episode of the second half of the season. Okay. After the mid-season break. Do you have any predictions? Anything else you want to say on the 4 shows?
No, my biggest... I'm really curious on... I'm guessing with Flash and the future heroes and or villains, how many the ratios. That's my biggest.
What do you think? Because I know you asked me that question, and I didn't ask you. How many heroes think there will be? How many villains? Because right now we have 2.
In a ideal world, I would love to see a 6 and 6.
That's not happening.
That's not happening. I would give it 4 at the most.
4 heroes?
Yes.
Oh wow, that's.
I know it's being a little generous. It's just I would think
you doubled my number.
4 heroes at least, because it just gives you a chance to replace Wally. And
well, I think they kind of replaced Wally with Ralph.
Yeah, but again, somebody to help again because with Killer Frost, because I think she's gonna make a comeback.
Yeah, she's gonna have to, because I know she has a storyline going on. Because why can't I think of her name? There's an actress coming on for the 5th episode, I believe. And that is tied to the Caitlyn Killer Frost storyline.
Yeah.
And this is a theory I'm gonna throw out here before we end this episode. And it's if Titans is connected to the DC Arrowverse or the Super Arrowverse, Super Flaro of Tomorrow universe. What do you think one of those people being Beast Boy? And Wally West is the one to find the Beast Boy.
Right. Okay. Now see that I like that's kind of interesting.
And again, we haven't got any confirmation if the Titans universe, if the Titan show is connected to this universe. It is on a different. It's on the streaming network they will have. But if it is connected, having Wally West come across Beast Boy. And when he comes back, and he's like, "Hey, I found this guy. He was on they find out about the bus and everything. It's like he was on the bus around the time."
That'd be quite interesting.
It would give me the Beast Boy, which we have an actor, which is Ryan Potter. He was the voice of Hero in Big Hero 6. That actor. So. Would you like that, or would you like them to introduce Beast Boy a different way?
I think it could work out that way. Again, because, the metagene has a mutation, so, it can mutate him green and, got the ability to turn into animals. It could definitely work out to be that way on the bus. I could see him being another one of the, possible heroes for the Titans.
I mean, is it so far from talking to computers and technology to talking to animals? Is it really that far?
No.
So I'm gonna end this episode with that thought. If you think Beast Boy is one of the 12 or the 9 remaining, 9 remaining people from the bus
on Flash.
I was trying to think of a little cool name to call it, but I'm just call it the bus of Metabus. Right there. If you think Beast Boy is one of the Metabus victims, please put in the comments or tweet me at Joker or Nothing, and also in the comments or by Twitter. Tell me what you thought of the episodes of Supergirl, Flash, Legends, and Arrow. I will be happy to hear what y'all think of it. That's it for this episode. Thank you for listening. My name's David.
My name's Carlin. Hope you guys have a great night.
Have a good night. Bye.